Hello, everyone. Welcome to Project 24. I'm Adrian, and Quinn's not here today. I'm going to attempt to do this one solo today, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. I apologize for the lack of content lately. I sprained my ankle 2 weeks ago, and I fell down the stairs going to work a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't really been feeling that great, but starting to get a little bit better. But try to give this a go. Try to do this solo. Anyways, it's been a pretty busy couple of weeks with a lot of things going on in the sports world, from James Harden getting traded to Pierre-Luc Dubois getting traded to the Jets yesterday. You got the McGregor fight, McGregor and Poirier. That was a huge upset. So yeah, let's get it going. So yeah, the Harden trade was pretty awesome there. You got a four first rounders. Houston, I think, won that trade. In my honest and humble opinion, Houston won that trade. Just the fact that they got a bunch of first round picks, that's gonna really set them up for the future. The Nets really did mortgage the future with that trade. I mean, they're a pretty established team as it is, with obviously with KD, Kyrie, DeAndre. They got some good players on that team, so I think it's going to be a Nets and Lakers final. I think James Harden's he's been playing pretty well so far. He had a good game the other night, I think. And yeah, definitely going to see a LeBron and Harden battle in the finals. I would love to see that. Um, I think they're gonna do well. I think Steve Nash is doing a good job with that team as well. No, it's kind of hard with having a couple of head cases now, like with Harden and Kyrie there, kind of both big egos there, but they're good ball players, and I think they'll get it done there. Uh, yeah, it was. I think they'll do well, but they got to win now, or else they're gonna have some trouble down the road for sure. So that should be okay. Yeah, I don't know. Sports been pretty good lately. NHL season started too. Got a big trade the other day. Yesterday, Saturday morning, got Pierre-Luc Dubois going to Winnipeg Jets for Pierre-Luc Dubois and a third round pick going to the Jets for Patrick Laine and Jack Roslovich. Yes, Jack Roslovich, defenseman. So I don't know how I feel about that one, to be completely honest. I don't know. I think Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg wins that trade just because of the fact that they have more depth down the middle now. So now their three centers are Shifley, Dubois, and Stasny. So I mean, they got some pretty good depth. I mean, I think even Brian Little's on that fourth line or whatever. But yeah, I think Columbus is gonna have a little bit of trouble. I mean, they obviously Dubois was their best center, so they gotta find a way to somehow make it work with. I think Max Domi is their number one center. Nothing respect. I love Max Domi, but I don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna get it done. Fucking shit. It's tough. He's got potential, but his defensive side of the puck, he's not really great. That's not really what you want as a top line center. You want a guy that could play both ends of the ice really well. Obviously, you want a guy who can at least get you 80 points a year on average for a top line center. You more probably want 80 points out of your top line, who could also, you know, get the defensive takeaways and to could draw penalties, whatever it may be. But yeah, I don't know. Columbus is a little bit of a weird team right now. They got some good pieces all around. They got. I mean, Liney's don't nothing against Patrick Liney. He's good. He's a great hockey player, natural goal scorer, but I don't know. He's, again, defensive side of the puck is a real concern for him. He's he's the kind of player that kind of waits for the puck to come to him. He doesn't, you know. So I mean, that should be interesting with John Tortorella. That guy's obviously what he is. He's very vocal about his opinions about how he wants his players to be, and doesn't put up with any bullshit. So I think at first Liney's gonna have trouble there because he's gonna try his lazy tactics, and I think Tortorella's probably gonna get in his face and tell him to fucking get going. But yeah, no, I think he's gonna do good down the road maybe, but again, down the middle for Columbus, that is a big concern. they don't have much in depth down the middle, so it's going to be tough for them. But hey, worst case scenario, they try to make the playoffs this year. Doesn't work. They just start tanking again, like how they used to be. They just go back to being shit and just build through the draft again, draft your centers that way, and that's it. I mean, obviously, PLD there, Pierre-Luc Dubois did not want to be there anymore. I don't know why. Apparently, it was because he wanted to be in a bigger market. And personally, PLD, man, I don't know if being in a bigger market is necessarily a good thing. Personally, especially, I think he wanted to be with Montreal. He wanted a Montreal trade. Even Winnipeg's obviously a bigger market, but him being from Montreal is going to be a really, really tough, really tough to play there, especially being a native of the city. But I don't know, man. I don't. I trust me, PLD. You're gonna see how the Canadian markets are like, and you might regret it. So I'm just saying that. Put that into consideration. Cities are hard to play in, and there's a reason why they all play in the United States now. A lot of these players don't want to come to Canada anymore. So it's because of the media, and that's what happens when the media members are fans of the team, right? They think too much with their emotions, and they don't. They're more critical, more emotional than they are rational. So there's that. But I don't know. If he's watching this, but I doubt it. But he might, maybe just wanted a fresh start, a new opportunity. There's nothing wrong with that. I respect that. Nothing wrong with wanting something new. Change of scenery is always good, especially for athletes. Sometimes if you see it's not gonna go the way you want it to, it's nothing wrong with change of scenery. He's past his entry level deal, so it doesn't really matter. Usually the entry level deal, it's like, yeah, kind of just ride it out, and then you kind of just go where you want after it, maybe ask for a trade. But yeah, there were some issues with that team though, with Columbus in the beginning there. His first shift was very, very bad. There was that one shift they showed it during the game, and he got benched on Thursday night. He wasn't really moving, he wasn't pushing his legs, he wasn't really trying in puck battles in the corner. And it doesn't matter who that is on your team. It could be your best player. It could be Connor McDavid, for instance, or it could be, your fourth liner that's getting 5, maybe not even 8 minutes a night. You gotta push. That's it. There's no other way. There's no excuse for that. But so obviously he did not want to be there. So yeah, no, NHL's starting too. First week is out of the, week and a half. It's out of the way. It's going good though. I mean, my Habs are doing well. The Leafs are playing pretty well too. I'll give them credit where it's due, but they're playing well. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of seeing some of the other teams. I mean, the Capitals got in trouble there for their COVID protocol thing. Personally, I don't think that really makes sense because, yeah, they're all in the same they're kind of not in the same hotel room after the game. Maybe I guess that's the protocol, but at the same time, it's like they're in the same dressing room before and after the game, and they're around each other at practice all the time, drinking the same water bottles, like this and that. So like being in the same hotel room, excuse me, is not gonna really make a difference. So I don't know. I don't really think makes sense. For there was Orlov, Kuznetsov, Ilya Samsonov, the goalie, and Ovi, who's the 4 Russian brothers there. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was really the right thing, but I mean, I guess everyone has rules and protocols. I mean, I gotta say, this whole COVID thing, us the civilians, like regular people that are not athletes, we have it actually pretty good compared to these guys. It's kind of weird saying that, but if I decide to go out or go to a friend's house or whatever, right? We're not going to get criticized. Yeah, you might get a few people like on your tail, maybe people they're going to be like, "Oh, yeah, that's not really good" or whatever. But these guys are in a different boat, like if they get caught slipping just once like Kyrie did, James Harden did, then it's the whole media is going to attack you. You're going to get maligned by everybody. So I mean, hey, we kind of have it easy compared to them. They have to follow. I think if anything, they have to follow the rules more than us because our employer and another thing too, our employers don't tell us that we can't see our friends outside of work. So these guys, their employers and the league they play for, tells them that they can't play. They can't see like other teammates. I got to stay in their hotel room after the game when they're on the road, and that's it. So yeah, I mean everyone's having it tough, but I mean I think for them because they have a lot more media pressure, so it's a little bit different for them. But still, either way, we all gotta kind of just get through it together. Uh, but yeah, no, that was Pierre-Luc Dubois trade, and it's a good trade though. I think for Columbus, I think this is a if I don't know, I think it's Columbus's GM there, Nokalainen, I think, whatever his name is, I can't remember, but I don't know why he. If I was him, I would have traded Dubois for a center. That would have been more logical. Trading for another center would have been more logical, but I guess maybe Laine was just the best offer they got, and that's it. So we'll see how he does there. Apparently, Dubois' dad works with the Jets as well, so I think that's another reason why it went there. So, it might actually work out, but we'll see. Um, yeah, no, I mean hockey's been going on, and Habs going off to a great start, playing well, but a few takeaways from this team. I mean, they got the guys. Corey Perry made his debut with the team last night. He got a goal, playing some good hockey still, actually, for his age. Not really moving around as well as he used to, but he's still playing some good hockey, so it's good to see, actually. I was kind of surprised. I mean, I saw his legs are a little bit gone. He's still moving up the ice. He scored that goal. Got a 2-on-1 there. So he's still playing good hockey. I'm happy they signed him. Been quite a critic of him over the past little while because plays like a rat. But I mean, he's a good player. He's one of those guys you want to win with. I mean, obviously he's not going to be producing the same rate he was with Anaheim when he was scoring like 40 to 50 goals a year. But no, he's a good guy to have. He knows how to win, and no, that's definitely a good signing nonetheless. Yeah, no, the takeaways from the Habs for any of the Habs fans watching. No, they again their offense. I mean, they're averaging 4 to 5 goals a game, which is I've never seen ever from this team. I mean, goaltending and penalty discipline, taking bad penalties has been their two takeaways so far. Things they got to improve on. I mean, Jake Allen had that one good game last week against Edmonton. Price hasn't been as good as like he should be, I guess. Not he's still playing good enough to keep them in games, make big saves, but I mean he's not, I don't know I don't know how to say this, but like he's not playing as good as we all think he should be. But I mean he's gonna get better as the year goes on. It's Carey Price. I know he's getting older, but he still did what he did in the playoffs last year. He's still gonna be probably put up good numbers, and it's good that he's in a position now as a goalie that he doesn't have to stand on his head to win this team games anymore because he has four lines that can score for him now, and he's got depth on and the guys in front of him, his D men in front of him are pretty damn solid. There's the good D corps. You got obviously you got Weber, you got Romanov added there, you got Edmondson who's been good. A lot of people were saying he was going to be bad but no, he's been great on the back end. Who else you got? I mean, Petrie's playing great hockey. Weber obviously still doing what he's doing. Kulak's still pretty good. He logs up those minutes when he has to. He's still a good defenseman. But no, Romanov's been really good. Been playing in Russia for the last few years, so he's not bad. He's gonna be a good player for us. I've been watching him on the radar since they drafted him and played with the World Juniors last year for Russia. He was the captain. He was lighting it up and scoring all over the place. But no, he's gonna be good. Can't wait to see how he's good. He's playing so good right now, but he's just give him a couple more years. He's gonna be remarkable. No, but yeah, this team's playing great. I'm very happy. This is like the most excited I've been to be a Habs fan in a long time. I think it's been so many years since like maybe the last time when Subban was there. That's how excited I am to be a fan of this team because they've been very mediocre the last little bit. And I remember at first last year I was a little bit upset that they beat Pittsburgh because I wanted them to try and tank and get the Alexis Lafreniere because I knew they weren't good enough to, they weren't really good enough to do it and to go far, and they were gonna just get stuck with a crappy pick. But that's not true. They got Caden Gooley, and he's been played good for Team Canada in the World Juniors. So, you know what? There's a lot of good things that came out of that playoff win against Pittsburgh because you probably would, if that was the case, they probably would have gone into full rebuild. We wouldn't have Toffoli, maybe not even Josh Anderson, who's playing really good. Both those guys have been great acquisitions. We wouldn't have signed Edmondson. All of our, Petrie would have not resigned. Gallagher would have been gone for sure. They probably just would have built around Romanov, Suzuki, and Kakanyemi, and then the rest, that's it. So, no, I mean, honestly, I think long term, I think I was happy they beat Pittsburgh because look at the team now. Instead of going through more rebuilds and trading players away and just relying on picks. I mean, they got a lot of draft picks, from all their buildings. So I mean, Bergevin, I gotta say, man, if you're watching this, Mark Bergevin, gotta tip my hat to you, sir. You've proved me wrong and a number of Habs fans wrong over the year. Since the Subban trade, I've been extremely critical towards you. And for like 3 years, I remember I was extremely critical. But you've turned it around. Gotta say, you turned it around. You drafting good players. And no, man, I gotta give credit where it's due, and I can admit when I'm wrong. So, Mark Bergevin, kudos to you, man. Doing a great job with this team, and I hope they continue the success because it's looking good what you're doing there, man. Another wow, it's been really good with sports lately. I don't know if you guys watched the McGregor Poirier fight yesterday. All I could say is, wow, my jaw just dropped because I was expecting Connor to get the W on that. I was expecting Connor to get the W, because of the history. But I mean, Dustin Poirier, shout out to him, man. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. And he's really changed his style, his mechanisms since that last fight in 2014. He's gotten a lot better. So I gotta give credit where it's due. Again, that was a great fight. I did not expect the knockout. Maybe it would have been a unanimous decision, but I did not expect him to get the knockout. One takeaway from that fight was, those leg kicks, the Poirier's leg kicks, those low leg kicks were really the deciding factor of the fight. You can tell Connor was kind of slowing down because he just kept on going with the low kicks, and Connor was trying to go with the jabs. He got a couple of shots in too. Connor got a couple of good jabs in, but it didn't really sustain enough pressure to really. Obviously, he didn't really sustain enough pressure to win the fight. Had him cornered a few times, but no, Poirier with those leg kicks were the game changer. And you can see Connor was getting a little woozy, and then got in a few punches, and Connor just fell to the ground, and my jaw just fucking dropped. I could not fucking believe it. I was like, holy fuck, man. Wow. But no, I mean, it's what Connor's 22-5 in UFC now. I mean, I don't think he's gonna leave. Personally, I don't know if he should. I was kind of like thinking, yeah, maybe he's past his prime, like last night after that fight. But I mean, Poirier's a good fighter. He's number 2 ranked in the, I think it's the lightweight or welterweight division that they're in. So no, I don't know, man. I don't think Connor should retire. Still consider the UFC, of course. He's obviously been a great marketing tactic for the game. I mean, personally, he's the one that got me into UFC. Connor was the first one. I think it was like 2013, 14. I kind of started watching clips and Sportsnet every Sunday morning after the big fights, and I was like, oh, I like this Conor McGregor guy. He's so fucking sick, man. He's cool, and his haircuts and stuff, and his tattoos and shit. So, and then I saw him actually fighting too, and I was like, yeah, he's a monster. It's not really a big, kind of a scrawny dude, but like the guy can fucking hit. And I started watching more UFC and highlights, and I started getting into the sport more and watching more of those prelim fights that they have. And then I started getting more into it, and like, yeah, he got me into the sport. So Conor McGregor, man, shout out to you, brother. Yeah, a big fan. I've been a big fan for a while. So he's great, but I don't know if the Jake Paul fight's gonna happen. I don't know. Jake Paul's been calling him out all over the place, left and right. He did after excuse me, after the fight yesterday. He's talking shit on his Instagram, saying he won $10,000 from a bet or some crap like that, and waiting for Connor to accept the fight and shit like that. So I was like, oh man, here we go. I mean, Connor acknowledged that this week. He was on like an interview I saw, and he was barely acknowledged Jake Paul's name, calling him that YouTube kid. So it tells you he doesn't fucking take him seriously. Personally, Connor, I mean, 50. Apparently, Jake's claiming $50 million is on the table. Um, I'm assuming that it's a boxing match too. So I personally, Connor, buddy, just stick to your UFC, man. I don't know. $50 million is a lot. I mean, if he's really just needs a payday, which I don't know. Connor's really good with his money, and he's done a good job investing, and he's a businessman also, not just a fighter. But if he really just needs the payday, then I would do it. But personally, I've been a Jake Paul. I like Jake Paul too. He's kind of an asshole, but uh, I mean, he's living life, man. He's doing good for himself now. He's got I think he announced that he has another fight lined up or something, and I'm gonna check that out later. Maybe check my phone after this, but yeah. So I mean, that should be good. I mean, the whole YouTube boxing thing's a little bit stupid, personally. I like it because it's entertaining. You know, I like Jake Paul. I obviously love Logan Paul. I love his YouTube content. Jake Paul, I don't really care about his YouTube content. It's more his fighting that I care about, his boxing. But I don't know, man. I find like this YouTube boxing is like really cheapening the quality of the art of boxing. You know, and you got guys just like KSI and his brother, I think Didi, I think, just coming into the fucking ring and like, you know, Jake and Logan fighting them too. It's like it's cool, it's good, it's gonna sell. They don't really care, you know, those kind of ethics of the art of the game don't really matter when money's on the line. Ethics don't, I mean, and just in general in this world, ethics doesn't really matter when there's money in front of it and money's on the line, and it's gonna sell. Nobody gives a shit. So that's their attitude, the boxing. I mean, personally, I think it's really cheapened out the quality of the game. Um, I don't know. I think, and I mean, obviously, you got Mayweather and Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul next month. That's going to be pretty sick, honestly. Like, I know it's YouTube boxer versus actual boxer. I'm still going to watch that. That's going to be pretty dope. I mean, with that one too, man, I don't know. Like, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was saying that apparently Floyd's always in the gym. Even when he says he's retired, he's always in the gym. So we'll see how that goes. I still think, honestly, back then I was like, yeah, I might give Logan a chance. I mean, still can, you know, don't sleep on the kid. He can still do some great things. I mean, everyone slept on him the last few years, and he's really done a good job rebuilding his brand after a couple of those the dicey videos he posted. And no, he's not a bad guy, but anyways, I think he has a chance, but again, it's Floyd. Floyd's one of the best, arguably the best fighter of all time. Hasn't lost a fight. Um, you know, so I mean that's gonna still be a good fight. I can't wait for that, even though it's just an exhibition, but it's not gonna really affect really anything. I don't know if it's gonna count on Floyd's actual career record because it's an exhibition fight. I don't think they count those, but either way, it's just still be pretty freaking cool to see a YouTuber fight the greatest boxer of all time, arguably. So it's gonna be pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, I know it's been. I don't know, like Connor too, man. Like I don't know, is he washed up? Do you guys, anyone listening? Do you think he's washed up? Looked pretty. His stamina doesn't look the same as he used to. I mean, he is getting older. He's what, like 32, 33 now. I mean, he's not old, but from doing it for a while, your stamina kind of declines. Uh, you know, and also other things I like about him too. You know, Connor's changed a lot. Um, you know, obviously back then his influence on the every time he'd have a fight, he'd be talking shit to everybody. I mean, I love that shit too, but everybody does. Everyone loves a good showman, not just a good fighter, but they love a good showman. And you know, that's why he's done so well for UFC, because he's a good showman and he knows how to sell. That's it. And that's why they kept him around even after all his problems he had with the law. And Dana White kept him because he knows how to sell. And I like, but one thing I gotta say too, I like I think since the Khabib fight, that really humbled him. I think that really needed to happen to him. Khabib just had him the whole fucking fight. I remember that one too. That was a good fight too. But yeah, no, he's humbled really well now. He's got he's got two kids now. He's more in dad mode now. So I think that's another reason why he's different. He wants to be maybe a better example for his kids and his wife too. His wife supported him through everything. So I mean, it's good to see he's starting to change. And even with Dustin Poirier, you can see the respect he has for him as a fighter and as a person. And no, I like to see that too. I like to see the positivity and more like the good sportsmanship too. I mean, I know a lot of the times the whole like shit talking, it's all part of the they want the smoke, right? And it's part of selling the fight really well, get people talking about it, get some clout off it. But at the end of the day, you still like to see the respect between, just between two human beings. And that's kind of like with me in the end, even with hockey, when you see those hockey players fighting each other, you see guy answering the bell after a bad hit, and his teammate comes to stick up for him. Like, I mean, he's just answering the bell, but maybe most of the time they have respect for each other as human beings. And here you get those guys that just say, "Hey, you want to fight? You want to go?" Just a little tussle, and they go, and they're not trying to kill each other. They're just trying to do it to keep their status in the league. And they always pat each other and say, "Good fight in the end." And you see people have respect for each other. There's a respect code I'm find for hockey with the players, with the goons more. But even for fighting too, I think there's a little bit more respect, even though it doesn't look like it sometimes. They're always shit talking each other, Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. But oh god, yeah, that was a crazy fight too. But even at the end, you see Jake was like even said he felt bad, how fucking bad he brutalized them. And he even said like, I hope he's okay. And so like you see like there is respect in the end, like we're because it's a person, right? You wouldn't want anything bad to happen to them. Like even me, like I thought I thought Nate was dead. Personally, I thought he was dead. So yeah, I mean it's all out of respect in the end, which is good. It's good. There's still some human decency out there. So yeah, no, big yeah, more sports too, man. You got the NFL today, got the NFC AFC championship. So got the last four teams. You got the Bills and Chiefs, and then you got the Bucks. Got the Bucks and the Packers. I'm going for obviously I'm a New England fan, but I want to see Tom Brady get that seventh ring. I even though he's not with my team anymore, I still respect him in a lot of ways. What he's done for the game of football, and even just as his leadership on and off the field. He's kind of a lot of people don't like him. Obviously, he's for things from the past with the whole Deflate Gate, and it's kind of easy to hate the guy. He's so good, but he's a good leader on and off the field, and I'm never gonna stop respecting him. So I mean, I hope he gets that seventh ring. I really like what they're doing in Tampa there with Bruce Arians, and they got good guys all around the team. They got AB's back, and he's focused, and he's staying off Twitter, and he was playing good football for a while. He's out today though. He's got a knee injury, so it kind of sucks for him. But Gronk is back too. You got Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans playing some good football. Scotty Miller too. Their offense is just loaded. Ronald Jones, so they're a good team. I want them to win the Super Bowl. It's gonna be hard. I mean, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are just stomping on everybody this year. Gonna be tough, but hey, Brady plays well in cold weather. I know it's Lambeau Field, but anything's really possible in the end. I really do hope Brady pulls it off. Mahomes is gonna play today, past the concussion protocol, which is good for him. I hope he's all right. Was hearing a few hours ago it was something about turf toe. So I don't know, man. The poor guy, he can't catch a break, but I still think he's gonna play through it. He's a tough guy, tough kid, and I think it's gonna be. My bias is gonna say Chiefs and Bucks, so I'm gonna go with Chiefs and Bucks. What do you guys pick your picks below? Who you think's gonna win? Or yeah, we can have conversations about it too. So keep your put it down in the comment section below who you think's gonna win. Like to maybe have some mingle with some of our viewers or fans. That'd be kind of cool. So Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Even like the last few days, there's a lot going on too. What's his face? George Springer, man. George Springer with the Jays. That was a huge signing. That I was hearing that he didn't want to go there for a while because of the whole arena with Rogers Center being the fucking fake turf is shit. And it kind of does turn a lot of players off from coming to Toronto because of the fake turf. So and I was hearing too because of the whole COVID thing too. So as they didn't play in Toronto last year, they played in Buffalo. They might play in Dunedin to start the season, I heard. So it's a lot of players are hesitating to come here, but we'll see how it goes though. I think George Springer is actually, man, that I gotta say too about George Springer. Even I know he's part of the Houston cheating scandal. He still put up some great numbers. Let me just check his numbers from last year. Considering with the cheating and everything, he still put up some really good numbers for after all that. So that proves he's still legit and doesn't need the he doesn't need the sign stealing to be successful. So let's see. I mean, in a short season, 50 hits, 14 home runs, 265 batting average. Like that's not bad. See how many RBIs he got. He got 32 RBIs, which is not bad. Considering for a shortened season, he played 51 games, so he played almost like the whole season. But I mean, that guy has always been my favorite type of leadoff hitter. Is a guy who can consistently hits for contact and power. Gets you. He hit like 39 home runs as a leadoff hitter. That's pretty fucking remarkable, actually. Guy's got speed. He can run. He can hit for contact if you need him to. He's got crack like in his bat. No, it's gonna be good. The Jays, man, I could smell the World Series now with this team, man. They're gonna be so good with the young players that they have around the team and drafted. They're just I'm so fucking excited. It's a good time to be a sports fan for me. The Habs are looking really good and the Jays too. And yeah, I don't know. The Jays outfield is gonna be a little bit crammed. And it's gonna be a little bit it's gonna be some hard decisions to make because you got Gurriel, you got Grichuk, you got Hernandez, and now you have Springer. Obviously, Springer's going to be your everyday center fielder now. And I mean, what do you do with? I mean, Gurriel. I would keep Gurriel and Springer. Grichuk, to be honest, has little to no value. You're not going to really get much for him because his contract's high and he's good. I love Grichuk. He strikes out a lot though. He's more of a power hitter. I mean, I like that about him. He hit almost 30 home runs the other year. I think it was 2019, or he hit 30 or 31. His average he doesn't really hit for average. He strikes out a lot, but I mean, he's really good. I think he's pretty decent in the outfield. He gets the job done, but that's going to be a little bit tough. I don't know. I think Teoscar Hernandez is the odd man out. I mean, Gurriel gets like a lot of outfield assists every year. Teal's not really great defensively. In my opinion, I don't think he's really great. His defense isn't exactly the greatest, but he hits for power. And I mean, shit, he won a Silver Slugger last year. He won a Silver Slugger last year. So yeah, I mean that can probably draw in some pitching help. We'll see how that goes. I think personally they're gonna probably go into the season with the four of them. They're gonna compete, and maybe at the deadline one of them goes. Definitely not Springer, but the other three are gonna probably be competing with each other to stay with the team. So I don't know. But again, I think Grichuk's kind of hard to move. His contract, he doesn't bring really any sentimental value like like a guy like a Lourdes Gurriel. He's not like he's a great player. All due respect to Grich. I like him. He's a good team player. He has his moments too, but yeah, I don't think he's not going to really bring much in a trade. I think Hernandez is really the only one that, just because of that Silver Slugger title, that's probably going to be the one out because they can get some good pieces for him. But again, we'll see. We'll see what Jay's brass there, Shapiro and Atkins, and even them too. I got to give those guys a shout out too. At the beginning, I wasn't really too crazy about them, and I'll explain why in a second. He's, I mean, they've done a great job with this team. Just Alex Anthopoulos, man, like he was not. I do not think he was ever a good GM. Anthopoulos did a couple of good things for this team, but he was not good at. He was not really great for the most part. He traded a lot of our pieces away for try to win now kind of thing, try to save his job, and it didn't really pan out. A lot of them. I mean, he mortgaged the future for David Price and Tulowitzki. He mortgaged the future with the Dickey and Burley trades. Jose Reyes there. He gave up Syndergaard. Oh, that name fucking hurts every time I hear it because my God, that team with Noah Syndergaard would be so good right now. Oh, like I cannot believe how good they would be right now if they had him. They probably would have won a World Series in 15 or at least gone to the World Series in 15 and 16 if they had Noah Syndergaard instead of Stroman and Price and some of these guys. They were good, but they weren't good enough. Dick, I mean, obviously they wouldn't have Dickey, but that one fucking hurts to this day. It still fucking hurts. Fuck. Yeah, all in all, though, I mean, Shapiro and Atkins has done a good job of repairing and almost rehabbing the Jays minor league system after years of, they. Again, I respect Alex Anthopoulos as a person. He really cared about this team. You can tell he had a good relationship with his players, but he was not a great GM. No offense, Alex, but you didn't really draft really well. Most of your draft picks didn't pan out. The lone really good thing he did was signing Vladdy Guerrero Jr. when he was 16. He convinced them and he worked really hard to get him. So gotta give credit where it's due. Like I said, I always give credit where it's due, even if I'm critical towards that person or organization or team or whatever. So yeah, no, he's done a good job. The Shatkins there have done a good job stockpiling their minor league system, trading some of these guys that didn't really hold any value on the team anymore, and they kind of had to just build from scratch, which is good. It's good they realized that because I mean, geez, you make the playoffs and almost win the World Series 2 years in a row. It's kind of hard to really be like, yeah, fuck, gotta start over again. But that team wasn't built for long-term success, so it was bound to happen regardless who was there. I think it was bound to happen. That team was not built for long-term success. A lot of those guys were, a lot of that core was well into their 30s and wasn't going to be a team you build around. So yeah, I mean, should be good. It should be a good season. I'm really excited for baseball this year too. It's going to be different. I think I even heard Kike Hernandez went to Boston yesterday, so there's that. And I mean, yeah, the Jays obviously added more bullpen help. Tyler Chatwood and Kirby Yates. So Kirby Yates, I've heard some good things about in the past, and he should be good. I don't really know much about Chatwood. I think he had a good season with the Cubs, like maybe 3 years ago. I don't remember exactly, but he was okay. But I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be closer to a World Series than they were last year. Even last year, it was obviously playoffs, but they weren't gonna go like super far. I knew they weren't, but Tampa Bay, Boston, and Baltimore are kind of at the bottom of that division now, so they're probably just gonna kind of just be the bottom feeders, and the Jays and Yankees are gonna be going toe to toe this year at all costs. So they're gonna be fighting for the American League East, and it's gonna be pretty freaking sweet. Yeah, man. Oh fuck, man. Baseball is gonna be so good this year. I swear, the Habs and the Jays make the Stanley Cup Finals. It's wishful thinking, but Habs make the Stanley Cup Finals and the Jays make the World Series this year. I'll fucking lose my shit. I'll be so fucking happy. But yeah, I mean, had some pretty sad stuff happen in the last couple of days too. Got some legends, a couple of pioneers of their trade passed away this last couple of days. Hank Aaron passed away on Friday, and Larry King passed away on Saturday morning. Yesterday morning, I found out about him passing away. I was looking on my phone and I saw that might have been COVID related too, which is pretty sad. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start off with Hank Aaron because he was a very good man, and obviously wasn't just his his legacy on the field, but off the field too. He was very empowering to other African American athletes, and he kind of set the tone because he was the he's still arguably. I'm looking at his stats: 2,297 RBIs, which is first all time. 1,477 extra base hits, which is first all time. 25-time All-Star, which is first. 755 career home runs, second. 3,771 hits, which is third, and 2,174 runs, which is tied for fourth all time. So, like, again, arguably the best player to ever, arguably the best baseball player to ever do it. And yeah, he was again very empowering to Black athletes, African American athletes around the country, being kind of breaking the color barrier. Obviously, I know Jackie Robinson was the pioneer of that, but I mean, in terms of him being a very successful Black player in a obviously very white dominated sport, I mean that in the most respectful way possible. But it's really cool to see him make moves and how well respected he was, even with how times were in the 60s and 70s, where times were a little bit different in our society, where they unfortunately Black people were not treated the same in most ways. But he's very well respected by his peers, his teammates, and everybody, and he's a very big icon for African Americans around the country, and really wish his family the best right now. Tough for them to lose him. He was probably a very good man. He was very well respected in the baseball community too. So wish his family well, and rest in peace, Hank. You were the GOAT, truly the GOAT of baseball. And also we had Larry King too, passed away yesterday morning. Again, he was so great at what he did, and again, very well respected man, very good man, very nice man too. Like I've seen him interact with people, and he just cared about people, and he was just a good person overall. Just like Hank. Hank was such a great man too. Those are two good men that we lost, and Larry King, man. Well, I gotta say, growing up, my parents and my brother, my family, and I, we used to watch his show on CNN, Larry King Live. It was a great show. He was always so good, great contents, and yeah, it was. Well, I watched the show for years. He had so many people, so many big name people. I remember his office too, his studio room, always with those lights in the back. It looked really cool. So one thing I always stared at as a kid. But yeah, no, he was another one that was very big in the entertainment business, and again, very well respected. So again, we're gonna give them some rest in peace to his family there. It's very tough times. A lot of people are losing family right now. It's so tough, family, friends, and being separated from everybody, and it's hard even for me. I'm having trouble. It's starting to kind of get to me too. Not being able to see your friends and family anymore. It's kind of tough, but hopefully we can somehow hopefully we can see them soon, but we'll see how it goes. So I mean, I think that's gonna do it for today. This is Adrian. Thank you for joining us today at Project 24. Give us a like and subscribe on the video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel too. If you have any, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? If you have any feedback, give me some feedback, because gonna be probably doing a lot of these solo episodes, so I want to be better. I want to give you guys the best quality content as you can. So definitely give me some feedback. I will not get offended. Constructive criticism is always good. So yeah, this is Adrian, and this is Project 24, and we are signing off.